Thanks to my friends over at Gemr, we're going to be giving away a Money in the Bank briefcase. This could be yours. If you missed the details, click the link in the description, go watch the video, and you can learn how you can have your very own Money in the Bank. Now we're going to jump right in this week in Wrestling Rewind, brought to you by Gemr.com. And as somebody who has been on the site for a while can now tell you, some of my favorite things to be able to talk to other people who are passionate about their items. Now I've seen a lot of great items. And this week's Gemr Item of the Week showcase is from @countdown_WWE on Twitter. A WrestleMania 21 shirt has got me all sorts of jealous. That is the start of John Cena's career. So on this week's show, we're going to break down the Royal Rumble. Now, a lot of people have been giving me tweets saying they thought the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself was a very good show, and I'd have to agree. I thought the pay-per-view itself was pretty good. Now, from where the WWE's been in the past, pretty good, can't really cut it, but what we've been given in the past, you can't really complain either. The pay-per-view itself featured some good matches, and Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose kind of tore down the house, and I thought they did a great job and just kept going with what I've already said. You give two guys some story, some direction, they go out there, and they did a wonderful job. Other things at the Rumble with the Divas match. Finally, we got a crappy ending, and some people wouldn't even let the dust settle, would say this is a crappy ending, this is a crappy way to go to bring out the savior of the Divas division. And I know what you're saying. You're probably saying Charlotte, Becky Lynch. Sasha Banks just has it. There's something about her that she has it, and I'm glad she's finally taking her place in the WWE Divas or Women's division. And the fact that she came out, we did not even give them a chance to let the match end. Regardless if the match ending sucked, that match ending that sucked led to somebody coming out and somebody not debuting, but making their intentions known that she was coming for the title. And by doing that, we just had to wait a brief moment through what some are describing as a horrible ending, and we got the payoff. I said 3, 2, 1. That is why we had a crappy ending. Some people are being very impatient, even on the same show. Now, I get when you're doing something with like Miz Dow or, with him and the Miz, they had the thing where we waited, and eventually it paid off. Daniel Bryan a couple years ago getting the title taken away from him. When he finally got that moment at Mania, it was huge. Here, something so small with Sasha Banks, we weren't even willing to wait. Just let it happen before we went and complained about it. I think we've got to cut that out. One of my biggest things that I've been seeing in the past couple weeks is the Royal Rumble was very predictable. About a month and a half ago, the idea of Triple H being in the Rumble started floating around. Hey, he's going to be in the Rumble. He might win the title. It might be him versus Roman. Had those ideas not leaked, and had we transported back 10 or 15 years in time when we didn't know this, and Triple H is an authority figure who had gotten taken off TV and had a horrendous beatdown, you might have thought he would have came out and tried to screw Roman Reigns and possibly set up some sort of opportunity while letting other guys inside the ring like, The Rock or Daniel Bryan or AJ Styles or somebody come out and compete for that title, and that would have just been an offshoot of the Royal Rumble. That would have been, all right, so that whole match happened, this feud happened, came from it, this feud happened, this feud came from it, and guess what? Now we have the big one. Because of the dirt sheets, I think it was all spoiled, and it just kind of took away from the fact, it is just wrestling. It is entertainment, and because of the fact that we knew it, we kept saying it's predictable. If we were in the writer's room of Breaking Bad or Mad Men or some of your favorite shows in TV history, and you knew before they even started shooting it what was going to happen, by the time it finally happened, you'd be like, that was predictable, I saw it coming. So there's two edges to this. There is the side where we just have to sit back, stop reading the dirt sheets, and just let it happen. And there's the side of that of we let that happen, and look how bad WWE has been in the past 6 months. So I get it. There's both sides of it, but I think part of the responsibility about things being predictable kind of falls on us for constantly reading so much and trying to know every little thing there is, which causes some dilemma. When you have one tweet that kind of sets the news world a storm because somebody tweeted out a picture or an image that has nothing to do with, something that's going on. If something relevant happens with John Cena posting a picture of AJ Styles, that is game-changing. That's huge. That's big. But when somebody just tweets, a phrase or something like that nowadays, that's kind of the new age vignette, and we kind of should take it for something. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But at the end of the day, this new stuff is kind of getting us in trouble because rumors that are starting for no apparent reason other than a Twitter message makes me a little worried. Because when some of our biggest stories are coming out about because it's kind of a little worrisome that some of our biggest stories, rumors, news, and things like that are coming from a series of tweets somebody posts. Somebody posts on Twitter something that has nothing to do with a feud, a match, calling somebody out, anything, and it instantly becomes a story where people are twisting your words. That's kind of a problem, and I think we're partly to blame for that because of our incessant craving for knowledge. I mean, myself included, when I watched some of the WWE stuff behind the scenes, Total Divas first launched, I thought it was great, and now it's gotten super now Total Divas has kind of gotten super soapboxy and kind of soap opera-ish and kind of getting to the point where it's not even worth watching anymore because it's all drama-filled reality crap instead of the stuff that you kind of want to see behind the scenes. But even that series that we're getting with NXT and William Shatner and kind of seeing, how things are behind with Breaking Ground, there's still some of those really emphasized up Showtime things, but it's still kind of cool. And we have this need to kind of figure out, well, why did this happen? So now with Fastlane approaching, the only match we know so far is a triple threat between Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. Now, there's a lot of ways WWE can go to book this match. Basically, have the Wyatt family come out and take out Brock Lesnar, so you could have the Wyatts versus Brock Lesnar. You could have the Wyatts come out and help him for no apparent reason and let Brock Lesnar win. You can have Roman Reigns go out there, win, finally get his match against Triple H, get his hands on him like Daniel Bryan finally did at Mania before he went on to beat his Golden Boys from Evolution, Batista and Randy Orton. You could have Dean Ambrose pull out the surprise of the century and win and have a match versus Triple H. You could have a triple threat. A lot of things could happen. Now, because of dirt sheets and spoilers, for the most part, we know that it's going to be Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt or Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, or Luke Harper, however that's going to go down, and then Roman Reigns versus Triple H. Now, if that were to happen without the dirt sheets and we kind of saw that come out of nowhere, I think people would be surprised. So I hope you guys kind of stay around for the journey. One of the things that I've got coming up is the Beyond the Crate podcast. The more I get into this, the more I want to do podcasts, live shows, things like that. I got approached by Ed from WrestleCrate, and I kind of, pitched him on this idea. We both fell in love with it, and the name is Beyond the Crate. And we're going to dive in to WrestleCrate, talk about the things inside of the crate, talk about WWE, news, rumors, stories, talk to some wrestlers that may have been featured in the crates. A lot of things that I'm working on behind the stage or behind the scenes that you're not necessarily seeing. You're just seeing me tweet about stuff. And I appreciate your patience, man. I'm really trying to do stuff that hasn't been done before, at least for YouTubers and the YouTuber side of things, and that I'm really hoping you guys are going to enjoy. So sit back, stay tuned, Beyond the Crate podcast. If you guys want to go subscribe or follow it now, nothing has been posted, but there will be stuff to come. So beyondthecrate.podbean.com and other sites as well, which you can find at WrestleCrate.com. And if you use the code Tubby, you'll save 10% at WrestleCrate.com. So I think that'll kind of wrap it up for the first Wrestling Rewind as we quick broke down some of the Royal Rumble things. Talked about, maybe the fact that it's so predictable because of the fact that we keep watching it and wanting to know every little single thing that's going to happen instead of sit back and watching. And, the other big thing was headed into Fastlane. There's a lot of possibilities that could come from it, and I'm kind of excited. Even though we're going to get the match I think a lot of people are expecting, there's going to be a lot of stuff to come. So stay tuned. Wrestling Rewind this week brought to you by Gemr. And if you haven't signed up to win that Money in the Bank briefcase, you got to do it. Because I whip in the briefcase and I am going to cash in this sucker. I'm going to go up and, you know what, it's mine. If you're not going to post on Gemr, I'm going to keep it.